So Wolves have completed yet again another signing, and this time it's a number 9 with Jorgen Strand Larsen joining Wolves from Celta Vigo. I'll be giving my thoughts on the move today, all the news and what's happened leading up to the move, and we'll get some insight on the player later on as well. But this is Wolves' third signing, which has been confirmed so far this season. After Tommy Doyle, obviously, which was his option was activated. We also signed Rodrigo Gomez, and now it's Strand Larsen with potentially, well, it is pretty much done, Pedro Lima as well from Sport Recife. But today we're going to be talking about the Norwegian striker Jorgen Strand Larsen joining from Celta Vigo on an initial loan deal with the option, which is more than likely going to happen, to buy. So the loan deal is £2.5 million this summer. And then the obligation or option to buy will be £23 million. So coming up to just over £25 million, which I think for a player of this calibre sounds like it's pretty good business to me. And the way that Wolves have been able to structure this deal is fantastic. The main reason Wolves have done it this way, or two reasons really. One is it's very beneficial for FFP or profit and sustainability. Obviously, the bulk of this transfer will go into next season's accounts, which is obviously useful for Wolves and gives them a little bit more flexibility for this summer and this season. But also, of course, Wolves don't want to be stung in the same way that they have been with Sasha Kalajdzic. Played 45 minutes for Wolves and got a major injury, and we've not really seen the best out of Sasha at all, really. And that's why we did the same with Matheus Cunha. I think it was an option to buy, but after about 5 games, it got automatically triggered. And this sounds like it's going to be the same for Strand Larsen now as well. But quite exciting to see the type of player, very well built physically, but still got a lot about him, and found the net a number of times last season in La Liga for Celta Vigo as well. Now, it's advanced a lot from Thursday when I spoke about it on the channel. Like I said on Thursday, at the time when I spoke to you guys and I put it out on social media, Wolves knew that there was a lot of competition, and although they had major interest in Strand Larsen, there was still a long way to go on the deal. But within that time frame from when I posted the video and maybe 2 or 3 hours later, negotiations have progressed quite considerably and a deal was agreed. Now, I've had a lot of people on social media, in particular Twitter, try and dig me out about that tweet. But ultimately, at 4 o'clock on Thursday, no deal was agreed between Wolves and Celta Vigo for Strand Larsen. And at 7 o'clock, that's when talks had advanced further. Believe it or not, people can have a conversation and broker a deal within a 3-hour time frame. So, you know, and at no point on my tweets or on the social media did I say that Wolves weren't interested. I made that very much clear that Wolves had a big interest in this player. So talks advanced considerably, and John Percy then broke the news about the loan deal for Wolves, which, like I've just said, very, very clever piece of business from the club as well. But he flew over the weekend. He had his medical on Monday, as did Pedro Lima, who we're waiting to have an official confirmation of as well. Once that comes in with the Pedro Lima confirmation, I'll do a separate video on him. I was expecting it to be today, to be fair, but we got Strand Larsen, and then we got the home kit reveal. Maybe Wolves will spoil us with 3 announcements today, but I'm not so sure. But we'll have a quick look at what the player's been saying. Strand Larsen has said it's an amazing day. It's one of the best days of his life. He's very happy to be here, to be able to sit here and look at the pitch that he's going to be playing on in the next years. To be honest, he's had contact with Wolves for a long time. He really likes the way that they want him in the squad and in the team, and he feels very comfortable in coming here. From the very first second of coming into the training ground today, I felt welcomed and warm, so it feels like I've made the right choice. And of course, he's going to be the new number 9. We had Raul Jimenez. We did have a short stint of Fabio Silva as well, which didn't quite work out last year. But the player did comment on being the new number 9. He said it's an amazing feeling. I'm going to give everything from the first minute. To be wearing that number 9 is a huge moment for me. And there have been many, many number 9s here. The last one was Jimenez, and he was amazing here. I'm very proud to take that number, but I understand that it comes with a lot of hard work, expectation, and important games for me to play. But I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really hoping to give my everything. And it's going to be an amazing season, I hope. So I don't know if that was an intentional dig at Fabio Silva. I'm sure it wasn't, but he said the last number 9 we had was Raul Jimenez. And of course, Matt Hobbs, who would have been behind a lot of this work to sign the player, has commented on it as well. He said what is nice for us is that Jorgen was our number 1 target for 9 in the summer. We've managed to get it done. But all 3 new signings so far, including Pedro Lima, which has been removed from the article, by the way, were our number one choices in their position. So for us internally, it feels similar to January in 2023 when we were able to buy in Mario Lemina, Dawson and everyone else, because they are three of the ones that we wanted to really get done. And then I went on to talk about the players' position on the pitch. Obviously, it's better to have more versatile players in the squad, but Gary's only looking at him as a number 9. Jorgen sees himself as a number 9, and when he's had to play wide, which he's had to do for Norway because they've got Haaland through the middle, he's shown humility, because although he wants to play down the middle, he also wants to play for his country, so adapts to a different position. But for us, we're very much looking at him to be a number 9. Very interesting. I'm quite excited about this. There's been comments as well from other areas of the media today that Gary O'Neill is very much looking at potentially having the back 4 again as an option. I don't know if it will be the Wolves' go-to for next season, because I think, and I would hope that we would want the flexibility to switch to a back 5 again if needed. But looking at a back 4, imagine you've got, if things go well for Jorgen Strand Larsen, him up top, Cunha in behind, Hwang and Neto or another winger that comes in. Then you've still got the likes of Jean-Ric the Bellegarde, and there's probably players off the top of my head that I'm completely missing as well. So there's a lot of quality and talent. Pablo Sarabia, maybe, if he sticks around. A lot of quality and talent that we can definitely bring into this team, and fingers crossed we kick on. But we got the thoughts of someone that's definitely watched Jorgen Strand Larsen a lot more than I have. Here's Rui giving his thoughts on the player and his season in Spain last year.
Hi there, it's Ruairidh Barlow from Football España speaking to you about Jorgen Strand Larsen, Wolves' latest signing from La Liga, and in this case Celta Vigo. 24 years old, arrived from Groningen a couple of years ago for about 12.5 million. He's got 13 goals this season in La Liga, 3 assists to his name as well. And bearing in mind he was playing for a side that was struggling for much of the season under Rafa Benitez until he was replaced in March, a side that was rather conservative, it has to be said. I think you can qualify that as a good total. What stands out about Larsen, I think the first thing has to be his height. He's a big guy, he's a target man, and he does do that well. He does manage to kind of bring other players into the game well. He has a decent touch in those tight areas, and he understands kind of giving goals. He understands where to put the ball into space for his teammates. He's not perfect in front of goal. That has to be said. He's not as clinical as you'd like, and perhaps that's some of the reason that he's going to cost you 30 million instead of 60. At least that's the fee that they're talking about. And one of the things that I think maybe will surprise about him is that despite his size, despite his kind of gangliness, he moves pretty well. He's quite a mobile striker. He likes to get in behind the channels. You saw that against Barcelona earlier this season as he escaped in behind the defence and finished 1-on-1. Strand Larsen is quite a mobile striker, and yeah, I think in the Premier League that should aid him pretty well, because as much as he does have that hold-up play, he's good in the air, he has that size to be able to attack the ball in the box. He's also quite good in space, and I think one of the things that will suit him about the Premier League more is that he'll be given that space, especially playing for Wolves, whereas opposed to playing against the likes of Cádiz, Granada, bunch defence is really deep. That doesn't necessarily suit his game as much. He is a good target man in the sense that he can hold the ball up well, but he's not necessarily used to attacking the ball in the air as much in Spain as perhaps he might do elsewhere. And yeah, he's not perfect in front of goal, he's not as clinical, but there's a lot of attributes, and at the age of 24 I think he's got a lot of room for improvement as well. He's a little bit raw, his touch does sometimes escape him, but I think he's only going to get better. Certainly that's what we've seen in Spain, and I think in the Premier League he certainly has the opportunity to do that. He'll need time, he'll need games, he'll need a little bit of trust in terms of maybe he doesn't score for the first 5-10 games or doesn't score too many. I don't think that should detract away from his kind of main work almost, which is to kind of lead the line, to provide a reference point, and to kind of make the defenders work. He's a good point to fijar, as they say in Spain, to kind of fix the defence, and also to move them about and get in behind them. And he does have good touch. He does have technical ability. You see that in a goal that he scored against, I think it was Sevilla or Granada earlier this season, when he crosses, the cross comes in and he manages to backheel it into the top corner. He has the ability to score those kind of really nice, wonderful goals. So yeah, what are the Wolves getting in Strand Larsen? You're getting a mobile target man, somebody that can work the defence, somebody that's not necessarily going to score 20 to 30 goals a season, but certainly has the potential to do so. And if you give him the service, then I think there's a chance that he could become a real asset for Wolves.
So big thank you. I will leave a link to Rui and his socials in the comments, in the description down below. But guys, do let me know your thoughts on this sign. It's been a busy day and hopefully it's a busy week for Wolves. Pedro Lima, Wolves had put it in their articles that he was a Wolves player, but it's not officially as of 5 p.m. on the 2nd. It's not been announced as of yet. But I'm sure in the next 24 hours or so, I'll get a video done on him. And as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.